Hey everybody out there in Facebook land, Trish Caparati here, coming from Barrie, Ontario, Canada. How everybody's doing on this Monday, cold, blizzardy day here in Barrie, Ontario. It is so cold. It's cold in the house, it's cold out there, the wind is blowing, the snow is blowing. It is a yucky winter day, but we haven't had too many of those, so I'm not complaining. However, hey Jada, I am complaining now because it is cold. Hey Ross. So I am Trish Caprata, and I am a certified nutritionist and diet-free life coach. And I'm coming today because today is, hey Melissa, is day one of our 8-week fat loss challenge, and it has been super exciting, helping people get started and get their paperwork done and all of that kind of stuff. Hey Kathy, so it was a really busy day for me to make sure everybody was up and running and getting in the challenge. Everybody's super excited, super pumped. So hey Jada, how are you? So I told you guys that I would be coming in live here once a week to kind of give you some highlights of what the challenge is about. And then I'll leave my comments, my website in the link. And if you want to join, it's not too late to join, never too late to join, and I'll leave the link in there. However, so I'm super excited about that, and everybody's happy and everybody's on the way. So I'm super excited to go through the journey. So there's lots to learn when you first get into the challenge. But the biggest part is what I find. So I don't know about you, but I've done a ton of diets in my life, which is why I'm doing this and coaching in this now, because it is the right way and the proper way, and it makes so much more sense from a health perspective and just a nutritional perspective. So many of the diets that I have had, they either, two things, they either weighed me, and that's all, or they based my results on my weight, and that was all. There was one program where they actually weighed me and measured me, but they never explained what those were for, right? So again, education, right? So we got to know what we're getting into, and for us to take accountability. So rather than walking into a program, hey Lori, getting into a program that actually a program that says, okay, we're going to do this, this, and this, and here you go, this is what you do. Why not take some accountability on your own part? So this particular 8-week fat loss challenge puts you in the driver's seat, gives you all the knowledge, the tools, everything you need to do, including a support group, in order for you to succeed. But it's up to you to be accountable and take that first step, right? So the first part is really kind of doing all the paperwork, getting everything downloaded, get your menu, get your grocery list, get your the protein, the portions and all that kind of stuff, which are really important. Again, I never got these on any other diet program because they were telling me what to do. I just went and did it. Never asked a question, just thought, I'm here for a short term, tell me what to do, I'm at the door, where you go. But we all know what it does to your body, right? It's not healthy. So part of this is this particular challenge is to get your proper measurements and your proper information in statistics, so you understand that, like, what do the numbers actually mean? So rather than just going with the weight on the scale, which could mean a lot of things, but if you don't know what that weight means, you could be doing yourself harm, or you may not have success in whatever program you're doing, right? So the first thing you want to do is you want to take your, first of all, if you don't have a biometric scale that measures certain things, and you can just use a regular scale. I did that because I thought, if I'm going to teach this and coach on that, I better know how to do it on a regular scale. So I bought a regular scale versus my biometrics one and went that way, because I thought I need to know that, because some people will not have that scale. So I took my weight, and then I did all my measurements. So the measurements that you take is around your neck, the thickest part of your neck, the thickest part of your chest, your waist, your upper bicep, your lower forearm, your wrist, your hips, your thigh, and your calf. And so all those measurements mean something, because you're really measuring you as a person and all of that. So how do you turn that now? So you know your weight and you know your measurements, then what you do with it afterwards, right? So what you want to do is you want to turn those measurements, and you want to understand what your body fat percentage is. Why do you want to know that? Well, your body fat percentage means that you know, based on who you are, how much fat you're actually carrying. And in a fat loss challenge, you want to know how much fat you're losing, not how much just natural weight you're losing, right? So out of those measurements, the first thing you want to know is what your body fat is. So I'm just going to turn back the page here. Should know this off by heart by now, but I still like to reference just in case I make a mistake. Okay, so to get the body fat percentage, after you do all those measurements, all you're going to do is you're going to take the measurements. So out of all those measurements you take, you're going to take the measurement for your hips, the measurement for your thigh, your calf, and your waist. And then you're going to make those measurements on that, and then you're going to divide it by a certain amount to get your body fat percentage. So if you take your measurements and take your, for this particular body fat percentage, is take your measurement for your hips, your measurement for your thighs, if you're 31 and over, which this is my group here, and then your calf, and the calf measurement you're going to multiply by 2.0. There's a methodology behind that. And then you're going to do your wrist. And then what you do is you take all of those measurements. So you take your hips and you add your thigh measurement, you minus your calf times 2.0, and you minus your wrist measurement, and that equals your body fat percentage. Now you got to put the numbers down on paper so that they mean something to you, right? But going through this exercise every time I go through a challenge like this to help my clients it's refreshing to me to know that this is so simple to me, but so like what to everybody else, because you're going like, now I understand what the numbers mean. So you're not just watching the weight on the scale. There's other measurements of your body that take into account on when you want to, how much body fat you're actually losing. So body fat percentage is one thing. So you get that. And then what you do is now you want to know what your body fat weight is, and you want to know what your lean body mass weight is, because your lean body mass is everything you have naturally about you, your bones and your skin and the water, the fluid you have, your muscles, your hair, your skin, everything, all of those things outside of the fat you're carrying, because that's super important for you to know how much of the weight you're carrying is just your body mass, because you don't want to be touching that, because if you're losing body mass and not losing fat, you are in trouble, because you'll get very sick and you're starting to lose things that your body actually needs and still retain the fat. So this is why it's so important, right? So then how do you get your body weight? Well, your body weight. So I said that I weighed myself on the scale. So you take your weight and then you times it by the body fat percentage that I just talked about, okay? And that equals your body fat weight. So your fat rate. So how much of you and on the scale is fat, that's how much you know. And then your lean body mass, you take your body weight again, just the weight on the scale, and you minus your fat weight, which is what you took earlier, and you get your lean body mass. So you see what I mean by understanding the numbers, so that when you do this, you measure yourself every 21 days. So we're not weighing ourselves every day, we're not weighing ourselves every week, we're taking 21 days in increments like that, and we're going to do it that way, because you want to know, you're going to start feeling the difference. Your clothes are going to start feeling better. You're just going to start feeling better. So you shouldn't ever be concerned with just the weight on the scale, because that's not the important number that you want to work with. You want to know how much of my body fat am I losing in this process, and that is the important thing, because it's going to be based on all of that. So I thought that was a pretty cool thing, time to bring to your attention as one of the highlights of this 8-week fat loss challenge that is really, really important, because there's not a program out there that will actually walk you through, here's what I want you to do because of this, and these are why the numbers are important for you to know to have your success. So success, you want to have success, but in order to do that, you have to understand the numbers. It's like anything else. You don't want to get into refinancing a mortgage, say, for example, and they're saying, okay, this is what we're going to do, and you don't know the numbers or the percentages or anything like that, and you're just going like, yeah, I'll agree to that and sign on the dotted line. We do more research and other things than we do about this, because, again, the uninformed educating the misinformed and vice versa, it gets all mixed up and all kind of hairy-carry, and depending on what you're dealing with out there, it could be. But this is the real way that you should be measuring yourself, to know the body fat you're losing, because that's really what you want to lose. You want to gain lean muscle and you want to lose the fat. So this is the only way to do that. Now I had, there's a grocery list, and there's a, you know, the portion sizes are really important, not because you're restricting anything, because you should know what your portion sizes are. So, you know, when I say you can eat the foods you love and still lose weight, I'm not talking about sitting down a buffet and eating everything on there and going, I love all these foods, so if I eat them, I should lose weight. That's not what we're all about here. We're about teaching you and educating you on what a portion size is, according to how you build your meals in the foods that you love without giving up anything, and snacking in between. The importance of you keeping your body metabolism like this versus like that is really important to your you to have success in losing the fat for good and keeping it off, because you always want to keep your body burning fat, because we're always needing to do that. All right. So I thought that was a pretty cool way to kind of introduce day one of our fat loss challenge. And again, if you're interested in taking the challenge, it's never too late, because it's kind of ongoing. I'll put the link in the my website in the comments, and just go ahead and sign up for my newsletter, get my free cookbook, and then become a member and get the 8-week fat loss challenge for free, with a whole bunch of other stuff too. So really cool. The other thing I want to do is I was doing a vision board today. So I took a vision board training last night through a friend of mine who was hosting it. It was really kind of cool. I do a vision board. This is my third one now. So I started doing it a couple of years ago, because when you have goals that you want to meet, if you don't write them down, there's a proven fact that 80% of people that write down their goals or display their goals or always look at their goals or always go through them, that they achieve much more than anybody else who doesn't. So this goes for your fat loss journey as well, your health journey as well too. Why not do a vision board of where you see yourself and say on this challenge, like 8 weeks from now, and how you'd like to look and how you'd like to feel and what that would mean to you by feeling that way, because we always have an idea of what we want to end up, what the end result is going to be, and how we're going to feel, because that's what motivates us to start this to begin with. But if we're disappointed in the results, then we just give up on everything. And this is not what this is all about. This is a chance for you to actually start, do some deep diving, learn everything you need to know, so that you never ever have to worry about going through this again. And it'll be with you for life. So part of that is visualizing where you want to be, even though you know what your weight is going to be, but visualizing how you would look, how you would feel, what clothes you would wear, how kind of shopping would you do, what would other people say, what would you do, would you go anywhere differently, all those kind of things. Visualizing how you feel as if you've already been there is super important for you to could kind of do it. So you're kind of visualizing where you want to be, and then you're reverse engineering it back to where you are now. And that's a pretty cool feeling. So not just visualizing it, but you got to write it down. And if you don't write it down, you got to display it somewhere. So my vision board is done. I'm really super happy with it. I posted it earlier today in my feed. Take a look at it, and I get to look at that. So what I do is every day, this particular workshop I took was a little different. They say to visualize, like I do 10 minutes of meditation every morning. I look at my vision board and I go through visualizing all that. They had suggested that while you do that, do it to a really powerful song. Like if you have a song that really means something to you, that really motivates you, then look at your vision board and just imagine that and get fired up about it, because that it'll just come at you. And I love Lady Gaga. Born That Way. That just pumps me up and gets me going, because the words in there really mean a lot. It's no matter where you are, no matter where you come from, no matter who you are just right in any way. So that means a lot to me in anything. So I really love that. So I'm going to try that tomorrow. Now that I got my vision board done, I'm going to try to actually do that and see if it makes a difference. But I just get goosebumps even thinking about it. So it's going to be epic. I'm going to be really super excited about doing that. So so try that. Try doing a vision board. I mean, I always say that if you don't tell anybody about your weight loss or fat loss journey, and you want to do it for yourself and don't tell anybody, guaranteed you're not going to do it, because if you're not verbally telling anybody, you're not committed. If you haven't written it down, you're not committed. If you haven't shared it with somebody else, you haven't committed. There's a network marketing guy that I just love. His name is Eric Worre, and he's got this famous saying that says, say yes, tell the world, and figure it out. That means a lot in a lot of things. So in this situation, say yes that you want to get healthy. Tell the world, which means get on a Facebook Live like this or whatever. This is a great way to do it because now you're committed, and figure it out. Now you figure it out. Now you find the right resources, you find the right tools, you find coaches like me that are going to help you through that process, and boom, there you go. Because if you're not going to tell anybody and you're only keeping it to yourself, it's too easy for you not to succeed. I've been there myself and done that, so I understand 100% why I do that, because did it so many times before, like the cry wolf thing, that if you say it again, people are going to go like, ah. But don't worry about what they think. Literally, if you found the solution, like finally found the solution, you know it's going to work, and you're going to put the effort into it, then you got to say yes. You got to tell the world in a Facebook Live or shout it out to whoever, call some people and tell them all about it, and then figure it out. Find yourself the right resources, the right people to connect to, the right community, like Diet Free Life, and you're going to make it. I can guarantee you. There's so many people pumped up in that group right now, and I feel so good about setting up my clients today on all that, that it's a really cool thing. And I'm walking through the journey with them because I feel that I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to ask anybody to do anything that I haven't done myself. And I've done it myself a couple of times, but I'm not going to not do it again, because there's so many new things you learn and so many new things that we introduce in each challenge because things change, right? So this one is like super fired up and pumped up. It's got so many good things in there that it'll make your life so much easier. So I appreciate you guys hanging out tonight. And again, if you're coming in live, put live. If you're coming in replay, put replay. Let me know where you're coming in from, because I always want to know where my peeps are coming in from. And then there's a share button in the bottom left-hand corner. Get this out in front of other people, because if they're doing any kind of weight loss or fat loss and they don't know the right numbers and they don't know what their body fat percentage is, or the body fat weight, or the fat weight versus their lean body weight, they're just going to be using the scale. They're not going to succeed. They got to understand the numbers, and it's super easy to do the measurements. Now, if you need any help with any of this, just private message me, no problem. But again, the link for my website will be in the comments below, and you can sign up as a member. Cool, get yourself started, and you get the Fat Loss Challenge, 8-week Fat Loss Challenge for free. So we are going to check out now, and I appreciate you guys all hanging out with me today, and we will see you tomorrow. So I'll bring some other highlights for you as well too, okay? Cheers, guys. Thanks. Stay warm, okay, because it's freezing here. Cheers.